Hello, me hearties. A very good evening to you. It's just me, Scottie McClue, and we are, of course, live on the big one. Welcome, welcome. 9 o'clock, Saturday night. Nothing gets past me. Saturday, the 10th of February. That is a big one. We've just had the full moon, and we are live with you at the Chit Chat. How amazing is that? I'll just get the angle right on the old Glengarry, and then that's us ready for action. Tell 10 to tell 10 to tell 10 to tell 10 that Scottie McClue is live, of course, and let's have all the chit chat from every single one of you. That's what it's about. A very, very good evening to you. Everybody should be receiving the notifications now on the TikTok and also on the YouTube channel. I think that's very important as well. So we can say dinky-doo to everybody. Welcome. If you've just joined us on the YouTube channel, lots of new videos for you. And of course, get subscribing. Dinky-doo, Scottie, says Dave. Hello, Dave. How lovely to have you with us. Carla's just joined us. Mad Stevie says, good evening, Scottie. Good evening, Mad Stevie. I tell you. Good evening, Scottie, says the wonderful Susan. Susan, thank you for coming and joining us. And a very, very good evening to you, I say to you. Tonight promises to be a cracker of a show. So get yourselves sorted out. We will, of course, open the phones as well, and we'll get all the chit-chat going there. Hello, Scottie, says Ronnie. Ronnie Dinky-Doo Santa Paws has shared the live. Fabulous live this morning, guys. What's the agenda for tonight, says Mad Stevie. Mad Stevie, you've no idea what's going to be discussed tonight. It's huge. Agent Neil reporting in from Bournemouth. Neil, we love having you with us from Bournemouth. You see my beautiful flowers tonight? Yes, a lovely, lovely lady sent them in. And there they are, the roses. How amazing is that? Wonderful. Hi, Scottie, it's David Dinky-Doo. David, how lovely to hear from you. Did you join us this morning? I tell you. Who else do we got here? There's Taylor, Dinky-Doo Taylor. Fantastic, lovely to have you with us. A very warm welcome to Scottie McClue. Hello, Scottie Dinky-Doo. Hello, Ross. Welcome, welcome. I say good to have you with us. Ecos Dinky-Doo. Follow us as soon as you can. Morning from Vietnam, says Gunnar. Gunnar, we've always wanted to have you on from Vietnam. Fantastic. We love that. Hello, everybody. Dinky-Doo and a good welcome. Thank you very much for welcoming everybody. Are you all right, Scottie? I'm from Yarmouth, says Thomas. That's right. To outsiders, Tom, it's Great Yarmouth. But to the Yarmouthers, it's Yarmouth. Is it at the mouth of the Yar? We need to know this. What's your dog's name? That one there was Lord Reith. He's no longer with us, sadly. But we called him after Lord Reith of the BBC. And I told Lord Reith's daughter about it. I don't know if she was terribly impressed, but it's wonderful. I said, the name Reith is shouted in our house every day. Hello, Scottie and everyone else, except if you're Polish, Shane. We don't have that kind of stuff on here. You know, if you're Polish, you're very, very, very welcome. I say to you, everyone is welcome on Scottie McClue. So, Shane, that could get you a lifetime ban. I won't do it since you've been warned. Thank you, Scottie. Not at all. Dinky-Doo, Scottie, I bought a McClue's pie. And the D, you didn't buy a McClue's pie. You got a McClue's pear. A pear, I'm Stephen. I'm off for a pear. There you are. I'm ex-army. Good one, Thomas. Lovely to have you with us. And a big dinky-doo. There we go, I say. Hi, Shane, says Susan, welcoming Shane. Who's the most influential person you've spoken to in your life? I have spoken to so many influential people. It would be very difficult to actually say. People that carry a lot of clout. I'm not saying they'll carry as much clout in the future. I tell you, whereabouts in Scotland are you? We're on the West Coast. I'm watching you on YouTube and TikTok, says Wurst. Wurst, are you from Germany? Oi, oi, Scottie, says Stevie. What's the picture looking like, guys, on TikTok and YouTube. It was a bit rocky this morning, and I realized it was my fault. I'd left it on my mobile. So there you go. What's your regiment badge in the Glengarry? Well, that's not actually a regimental badge. That's my own badge. That's the Hand of Justice. Yes, indeed. I'm not just an athlete, you know. Hi from Aberdeen, Dinky-Doo. Coming through nice and clear, says JD. How's your day been, Scotty? An amazing day today. Absolutely amazing. I mean, this is like milestone stuff. You know, I mean, the stuff I have been seeing today, incredible, very good, very positive. There we are, the Hand of Justice. My ex was from Aberdeen. Ah, that's what you get. You see, you're going to watch all that. Ah, I tell you, there we are. Hi, Susan. Extremely sorry, Scotty. I've had a dreadful weeks of Shane. No, Shane, that's why we haven't banned you. We're looking after you on here. There we are. What did you think of the rugby game today, Scotty? I didn't get to see it. I was involved in other stuff. So there you are, which will all you'll hear about at some point. I say to you, there we are. I'm not just an athlete. Hi, Scotty. Nice to see you, says Ben. Dinky-Doo, Ben on the YouTube. Guys, if you're on the YouTube, please get subscribing. Sometimes we've actually finished an hour's program and we've had very few subscribers. It seems to be a huge effort for people to click or to tap with a finger, and it's free. The call's on, they will be in a while. Why are you wearing a Glengarry? Because it was very cold today, and if you cover your head, it keeps the heat in. I've worn a Glengarry all my life, I tell you. Scotty, let me tell, I'd love an interview with you. Well, Scott McClue fan, what a nice thing to do. Are you on the radio or telly? Glasgow on top, says Thomas. Are you Conservative or Labour? Chronic, I don't, I'm apolitical. I don't have any time for either of that mob. I say to you. Apolitical, Scottie McClure, and then we can stick to the facts and the truth. There you go. I think you'll find the Conservatives might be on the way out. Top man, Scotty, Dinky-Doo roller. There you are. What I've found because of the job I'm in, television, radio, newspapers, what I've found over the years is it doesn't really pay to give your political views because it's quite good. Sorry, just giving myself a dust down there. Otherwise, people complain. They say you had a wee crumb of something in the front and you wouldn't see it. All that. Here's hoping, says Wayne. Absolutely. Hi, Scotty. Any Valentine's this week? Ben Soldier Boy. Yes. But like all Valentines, you don't know who they're from. I tell you. So there we are. Fantastic stuff. MSK. Too much information, I say to you. There we are. Because I don't have one. Ben, you're getting one. Yes, you'll have a lot of fans out there. Do you still do McClue's pies, Andy? What a question. Our best seller, the vegetarian lettuce slice in the rich chicken sauce, doing very, very well. Quentin says, Scotty, I've got a proposition for you if you're interested. Well, Quentin, I don't know what it is, so I couldn't tell you if I'm interested or not. Sandy the Jumbo, sorry I'm late, get held up by a cyclist. Hi, Scotty, loved listening to you on the radio. Follow us, guys, as soon as you can. So the voice. There's a wee crackle in it tonight. But there we are. Thank you, Quentin. Now, I'm having a double scotch on the rocks. Wow, on the rocks. What are you doing by the seaside at this time of night? Ah, see what I just did there? How good was that? I tell you. Negan says, Scotty, can you say happy Valentine's to my pal Chuck and his girlfriend Abby? He's a big fan. Well, Negan, we have to say hi to a big fan. What radio station, Scotty? We're not on the radio at the moment because I'm 40 years in ITV this year and 32 years on radio. I used to listen to the Nightline when I was at high school. Rat Woman. Amazing. Which one? Good one, Scottie. Dinky-Doo Flash. Lovely to have you with us. Flash by name, Flash by nature. Dinky-Doo, everybody. Oh, cheers. Fantastic. Scottie, first of all, I have a question. What's your opinion on the king getting cancer? Well, I don't know a great deal about it other than what's been reported in the media, and we don't always know if today's media is giving us the full facts, if you get my meaning. So there you are. So I can't really comment. I just hope if the poor soul's got something like that, he's able to get it sorted out. But with so little information, very good to let us know what's going on. He's that kind of guy. But as for what's going on, what does one think if somebody gets cancer? You just want to send them best wishes. The poor royal family are having quite a tough time of it at the moment. I can't get through, Scotty, says Kareem. Kareem, you always can get through to Scottie McClue. That sounds hard, really hard, Kareem. Yes, it's tough. It's a tough gig when you can't get through. You've got to get through to Scottie McClue, and Scottie McClue has got to get through to you just to say Dinky-Doo. Here we are. Here, we'll see who this is. Live on Scottish Fun.
Hi, Scottie.
Hello, Kareem. How are you doing? I'm hearing myself coming back. No, I'm just hearing myself. So I don't know. We'll have to try and find out what's going on, Kareem. Hang on. Stay there. Stay there. Right. Can you hear me?
Perfectly, yes.
Right. That's excellent. Sorry about that, Kareem. We must have clicked on something, so I wasn't hearing myself coming back tonight. I was hearing myself coming back from earlier.
Right. Okay.
That's clever, isn't it? You see, as you know, Kareem, modern technology is wonderful, but it only takes a tiny tap on something, and away it goes. Do you know what I mean?
It becomes so awkward.
Scott says, hello, Scottie. I'm watching One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest tonight. I hope you're not referring to the show. Now then.
And Charles cooking Charles about the sad news.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. It's a strange question. What's your opinion on the king getting cancer? You know what I mean? What kind of strange question is that, actually? Do you know what I mean?
You would wish cancer upon nobody.
No.
You know, it's
absolutely nobody.
Things.
Absolutely nobody, Kareem.
Best treatment. You'll have the absolute best treatment, and I'm sure he'll make a speedy recovery.
Yes, I'm quite sure, absolutely. But he is 75. And I mean, his grandfather went at 56.
Right.
His great-grandfather went at 70. And they even said his doctor had helped him away. Because apparently his last words to his doctor were, God damn you, as they were giving him the injection. Here's an Apple user, not our king, he is German. Have you ever heard such xenophobia in your life? What would be the problem if he was German? Most people in England are German or French or Italian. It's very strange. He's German. I mean, so what? You think, where were the Romans from? Where were the Anglo-Saxons? So most English people are German. So there's Basharat, Germany, no good. Well, Basharat, most English people will not like that because they're of German descent. Yeah.
That's a bit of education for them.
And there you are. You've got to keep educated, Kareem. You can't give up on the masses.
Absolutely, yes. Well, Scottie, just a wee article discussion.
Yes.
Like to say say that, speaking to some people, that the Yes movement are starting to lick their wounds and to start the campaign again, which is going to be needed. At the moment, I think you've seen so many polls between Labour, etc., taking over, which I think is absolutely nonsense.
Yeah.
Do you know?
Well, apparently we're on about 57% in Scotland for independence.
Yeah, but listen, that's not going to go away, Scottie, and I
No.
think it'll probably be a lot higher. I mean,
Yeah.
if you see Mike Gove's secret document that's been released, and there's quite a lot of interesting statistics that, you know, has been they're trying to keep it.
Kareem, the stuff that's coming out at the moment, and this is what can I say, the tip of the iceberg. If you think the most dangerous part of the iceberg is under the water, you just wait to see what's going to come out within the next few days, weeks, months, years, you know, and you'll be absolutely your good self, a highly intelligent man, but you really will have your breath taken away with some of the stuff that's on its way out at the moment. I mean, Kareem, I meant to say to you, have you ever read, oh, wow, I've just had a huge present there. Have you ever read the Macron report?
I've snippets of it, snippets of it.
Well, the whole thing's online, 1974. Professor Macron, Gavin Macron, wonderful, wonderful man, and dismissed one night by on a talk show by a certain top presenter as airy-fairy economics. And this guy should know what he's talking about, but he was trying to put it down because it's so powerful. It just shows how Scotland's been absolutely robbed blind, you know? Are we there, Kareem?
Hello?
Hello? You got me? No? Are you away? Hello? Ah, we lost Kareem. There we are. He'll no doubt come back. Here he is. You're live with Scottie's Phone In.
Hi, Scottie. Can you hear me?
Brilliant. Yes, we can. We just lost you at the end there. Did you hear any of that?
I heard about all of it. It's when somebody phones me for whatever reason, I cuts you out. I don't know why it does that, but it happens.
Maybe somebody knows something and they're trying to help you out.
Yes, but the Macron report there, yes,
yes.
There.
So, I mean, it just Scotland, bottom line, Scotland's been absolutely robbed blind of all its oil income. It's gone down to Westminster and been frittered.
But this is the thing, like, there's just so many things that you're proud. Scotland's proud, and so many Scots are proud. But see, when you start tearing it down, there's just so many people frustrate me, because when you see what's happening with Palestine, and everybody supports Palestine, and for going on, and the poor 20,000, 30,000 children that have been, let's be honest, murdered.
Yes.
You know, and at the end of the day, people want to protest here, and they are protesting, and they're letting their view loud and clear. What I don't understand then is why they're going to be voting a Labour MP that supports the Israel and Israel strikes. That's the Labour stance. I don't understand why, if you want to protest, but then you're going to vote somebody in that actually supports, you know, violence.
Well, what you're seeing there, Kareem, is a weakness in the political system, that no matter, you know, where these candidates are from, they've got to agree to the party line, you see? So it's a bit like following orders. So somebody say, well, Blair actually summed it up, because New Labour were effectively well to the right of centre. They were effectively red Tories. And Blair gave the party a choice. He said, look, at the moment you're unelectable, or he got that message across if he didn't actually say it. If you do it my way, and we stay within all the things that this country does, we look after the city, blah, 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 blah. We you know, look after the monarchy. We look after business, all that sort of stuff, then we could become electable. And of course, as soon as he was in there, bang, same old story, the establishment, you know?
Yeah. So I think that's the same thing with Mr. Farmer, what he's going to be doing. And I think it's just people up here are jumping on the bandwagon. They're seeing the media and they're praising Keir Starmer. What's in the media because everything, the mismanagement and the corruption of the Conservative Party. But it's just going to be...
Well, you've got quite powerful Conservative members trying to do down the Scottish government and the Scottish National Party to take the flack away from themselves.
Yeah. But the problem is, Scottie, is the people up here keep buying it, and do they honestly admit... See, if Labour get in charge up here, become in charge again up here in Scotland, people up here are really going to feel the cost of living. They're feeling it up here, but a lot of it is shielded by the Scottish government.
Well, the problem is, I would say if Labour get in, they'll probably start to dismantle what the SNP have done over the last 12, 13 years. And the SNP have done a lot of very, very good things, regardless of what your politics are, things that are good for the people. You know, okay, there's been one or two things haven't worked out. You know, the ferries, they're trying to hit them with the ferries and stuff like that. But, I think we could take that on the chin, because compared with what's been frittered by Westminster, frittered on Brexit, on the pandemic, etc., I think we can actually take that in the chin. It amazes me when they go, so they're spending £1 million on independence, and you think, yeah, and you lost us 250 billion on a failed Brexit. You know,
look at the pandemic, Scottie. When you've seen what's happened just now in the last couple of weeks, how the media have hounded Nicola Sturgeon for WhatsApp texts, but all the politicians in London did the exact same.
Yeah, did they hound Boris?
No.
Did they hound the I can't remember the wee guy, Matt.
Jack.
Yeah, all that, all of them. You know, have they hounded them? You see?
Can you imagine if Nicola Sturgeon said, "Let the bodies pile high"? Would be World War III. But because it's Boris, and no, that's okay. I don't understand the logic of so many people in this country that accept one thing from another country as, that's just Westminster. But if it's the slightest thing up here, go off their nut, and it's totally double standards. It's the sickness of Scotland, I call it.
Absolutely. Really. Now, moving on a little bit, widening the political agenda here, if we like. This week, we've seen a remarkable interview with a top journalist and the Russian leader.
Yes,
You know, and that's quite a step. That's causing a bit of a stushy. Boris Johnson was doing his nut today in the newspapers about it, you know. It was a remarkable interview. You see, all that guy's doing is what a good media journalist should do. He's putting the other side of the coin.
Yeah. They don't like that, Scottie.
No.
They don't like that.
No.
You know. But I just hope, on a finishing note, I really just hope that people in this country wake up and just see, I mean, what's happening with Northern Ireland just now, you know, is the tricks that have been thrown at the SNP here will now start in Northern Ireland.
Oh, yes.
However, if SNP are strategic and counter-attack with Northern Ireland, I think it might be a bit too much for the establishment.
Well, here's a guy here. I'll leave you with this one, Kareem, because we do need to move on. But as you know, I love your calls. Here's a guy called Christian, and he says the Orange Movement says they'll become militia if you leave the UK. Now, the Orange Movement need to have a wee think about backing King Billy, because he was a genuine, very, very, very bad man. And if I was running the Orange Movement, I would, as much chance as the rocks melting with the sun. But if I was running the Orange Movement, I would take King Billy off the banners. I wouldn't march under a banner with that one, you know, because that's very dodgy.
Yeah. Well, if they want to support them. They support the monarchy, and an independent.
Support the monarchy and an
Scotland.
independent Scotland. Let's have the independent Orange movement supporting the king in an independent Scotland. You know,
working with the rest of the UK on that.
Well, remember, King Billy came here in 1688, right? For what they called the Glorious Revolution. He was told he wouldn't have any power, that the power would be with the people. And he came here with King James, the man he was fighting, King James's daughter, who was his missus, Mary.
Yeah.
And 1688, we didn't become independent until 9 years later.
Yeah.
So the Orange movement, if they're following King Billy, then, you know, they started when there was an independent Scotland. And I heard today that a lot of the Orange movement grew up in the very south of Ireland.
Oh, right, okay.
Never a dull moment, Kareem.
Yeah,
Top man.
Learning.
I thank you.
Have a great week ahead, okay?
Bless
Thanks,
you.
Michael.
Thanks, Kareem. Bye-bye. Great call. Always a good call from Kareem. He likes his politics. Now, who have we got here? Wonderful stuff in here. First of all, oh, yes, we've done that one. Absolutely. The Grim Reaper. Hello, Scotty. Nice to see you again. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Kareem, I'm going to come for you next week. Right, so what we're going to do, Grim Reaper, just completely get rid of you immediately. There we are. Fantastic. So he's gone, and sincere apologies for anything the Grim Reaper has said. There we go. Fantastic. We love that. There we go. Wonderful stuff. Evening, Scotty. Where's the bonnet? Says Alan McGee. We're on the Glengarry tonight, Alan. I knew you would enjoy that. I tell you. The Orange Movement. Oh, yes, we've done that bit, haven't we? I tell you. Now, what do we got here? Scotty, are you racist? Well, I can't possibly be racist because there is only one race, and that's the human race. And I'm a member of that, and hopefully a very good member. So there's no question of me ever being racist, you see. And in fact, if you followed my my lead, then nobody would ever be racist again. Fantastic. What have we got? The clones have been debunked. They have, Sandy. They've gone, I tell you. There we go. Dinky-Doo, me hearty. Boeing 82. Lovely to have you with us. George Galloway, Dinky-Doo, yes, a very fine broadcaster. I was actually listening to him this morning, although he did ban me on his Twitter account years ago because he called his show the mother of all talk shows. Yes, the MOATS. And I said, yes, but Scottie McClue's the daddy of them all. Well, that didn't go down well, but there you go. A nice comment. Dinky-Doo, there's Millie. Hello, Millie. Scotty, I see you're still alive. That's brilliant. Thank you, Daniel. Yes, I did check earlier, and apparently I'm still alive. One question. Why do they want to keep us? Stevie, what a superb question. I take it you're referring to why does Westminster want to hang on to Scotland? Because it's the cash cow. There we are, Dinky-Doo. We protect you with our submarines for free. Nothing for free, Taxi Girl. Scotland very, very, very heavily subsidises the UK. So we'll be paying for the submarines. No such thing as a free lunch. Bloop, bloop. Scotty, you can't wear a shortbread tin in your heat. No, you can't. That's why I took it off and put on my Glengarry. I tell you. See, did you like what I did there? Now, what have we got? Good evening. Sweden here. Good evening, Scotty from Svenska. Follow us, Pedro. Thank you for following. Hello, boss man. Hello, Stephen. How lovely to have you with us, and a big Dinky-Doo. Wonderful to have everybody. Please, 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 if you're watching on the YouTube channel, yes, Scottie McClue's video talk show, yes, youtube.com/Scottie McClue. Not difficult to find. If you're on the TikTok, have a look at it. The URL is in my TikTok bio. Please do subscribe. Hit the subscribe button. You have nothing to lose. That's the first thing I do. I'm just doing what's called a quick comfort break. Woo! The studio lights are very hot. I've got my Glengarry on, you see. Very good for protecting the heat. Now, what do we got here? Follow us as soon as you can, guys. Free school meals, free sanitary products, free education, free prescription, council tax frees. Absolutely, Stevie. And a proper Labour government would enhance that if they got in, not take it away, robbing the people. Right, top one. Thanks, Craig. The government don't want us to know the truth. Well, of course they don't. They're a government. That's why they try to get a handle on the journalists to see the journalists don't go telling the truth. There we have it, I tell you. Foo's your doos for cracking pan drips fit like the day, says Liam for Aberdeen. Liam, we're just bra. We're cracking, we're pan drips. Foo's your doos. Are you chaffing a walloon? I tell you. Aye, that's it. Vote for an indie party. You're live with Scottish Fun In. Who's that?
Hello, Scottie. It's Graham here.
Graham here. How are you? What can I do for you?
Not too bad, Scottie. How are you? First of all, Dinky-Doo.
Dinky-Doo, Graham. Thank you for coming on and Dinky-Dooing us.
It's been a while since I've spoken with you, Scottie.
Too
I
long.
think it was probably about last year, I think.
Too long, Graham. Don't leave it so long next time.
Yeah, I believe our last conversation was about the Large Hadron Collider and how it could potentially be a danger to the world.
Yes, the collider, the particle collider.
Aye, that's the one.
That's the one. Has that been overtaken by any more danger, would you say?
Well, I'm just having a look here, Scottie. You know what it's like is you get online, you go into a wee rabbit hole sometimes.
Oh, you
One
can
minute
do.
You're on a YouTube video about top 10 largest space rockets.
Yes.
And then the next one, you're on to Gloucestershire cheese competition,
Yes.
you know?
Yes. Can I just say, Graham, Richard Tanner, one of the world's finest DJs, is absolutely ruining me with red roses as a gift.
Oh, you lucky boy, Scottie. Red roses.
The red roses piling in for the goal on TikTok.
Well, can I just say to everybody watching now to make sure if you have any red roses or anything like such to donate it there to the man no more irrelevant, Scottie McClue.
You're very, very kind, Graham. I thank you. So you've been down a space hole, if you'll pardon the expression.
You could say that of sorts, Scottie. I'm quite currently looking at the world's largest pumpkin growing competition.
Wow. And what size of pumpkins are we talking?
Oh, Scottie, you wouldn't believe it. We're talking pumpkins the size of small cars. Baby elephants, Scottie.
Oh, wow. You see, I knew nothing of this, Graham. If it wasn't for you, the world would not know about huge pumpkins.
I believe the world last year, 2023, the winner was a gentleman named Hugh, second name Mungus.
Oh, wow, Mr. Mungus.
Mr. Mungus, I believe he's from America. I think it says here that his cousin is also his sister.
Is there not a little poem that Mr. Mungus grew a fungus?
I believe that the poem goes 2 in the pink, 1 in the stink, Scottie.
Oh, my goodness me. Graham, I can't thank you enough for your call and for your information.
Thank you very much, Scottie. It's been a pleasure as always.
A joy. And Dinky-Doo, sir.
A Dinky-Doo to you too.
You too, sir. There's Graham. There we are. I didn't realise. I've heard of Hugh Mungus. Of course. Dinky-Doo, everybody. Lovely to have you with us. Who have we got here? Good call as usual, Kareem, says Susan. We love that. Tom, join the Scottish Patriots. Yes, indeed. You're live at Scotty's Phone In. Who's that?
DINKY-DOO, Scottie. It's Tom here.
Tom, how lovely to hear from you. How are you?
I'm doing all right, thanks.
Thanks for letting me know that Sean's back home.
Yeah, he came home there yesterday, Scottie.
Wonderful. And is he okay?
Yeah, so it turns out it was the shingles caused it.
Ah, so it was shingles. Yes, a terrible thing. And apparently very painful.
Yeah, well, it had him sleeping in, you know.
Yeah, he'd be tired.
But so the shingles caused seizure.
Ah, that's very interesting.
Yeah, and have you ever heard of the medical term delirium?
Yes, delirium, when you're in a sort of other world, you're delirious, you're talking, you know, sort of gobbledygook, and you're confused.
But you might have heard of delirium tremens before. You ever heard of delirium tremens?
The DTs, very often people that are fighting alcohol dependency can get the DTs.
Well, Sean doesn't have delirium tremens, but he just has ordinary delirium.
Right,
you know?
Right. And
the doctor
what's that
thinks he might have it.
What does that entail then, Tom?
Well, it's actually not too serious for him. It's just the odd time he might get a wee bit confused. But I actually haven't noticed anything myself yet.
Yeah, but I mean, what you said is 81?
Yeah.
Well, you know, I mean, at 81, we all get a wee bit confused, you know?
Surely. But the doctor showed us the scan of his brain, you know? And there's like, in the scan, it's supposed to show up all grey.
Ah, right.
But his shows up all grey, but there's like, in some areas, there's like a wee white dot. And the white dot, that's the delirium. And apparently it can be caused by many factors, but smoking is what caused it.
And you said he'd gone back to the fags.
Yeah, but he hasn't smoked since
he took the turn. Good.
So far he hasn't been smoking, and hopefully it continues that way.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'd say it would. Because I think this right probably got to him, you know.
Yeah, and, absolutely. No, he's a sensible guy, you know what I mean? And I'm quite sure that that Grandma will be having a word with him anyway.
Yeah, and no driving for next year.
Right. Very sensible, probably, to be honest with you. Just in case he takes a wee blackout or something like that.
But yeah, as a man of 81, the driving was all he really had, Scotty. You know, he enjoyed going out to Tesco's or just going out to Licks or whatever and just having a wee walk about, you know.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what, you'll probably be ahead of me in this. You know, if you drop it in, don't make anything of it, but just say, right, I think we'll take a wee run down to the shops. Do you fancy it? You know?
Aye.
And then he finds that he can get out anyway and just see the world. You know, and then he thinks, you know, I'm quite enjoying this. You know, I used to enjoy the independence of the car, but I like when Tom comes round and I just pop down with him, you know.
Yeah, but he's still full of himself, so he's still talking away and everything. But the medication that he's on for the shingles seems to be quite strong. But mentally, it doesn't really seem to affect him too bad, you know.
Yeah, that's good. That's good, Tom. Thank you for the update. Now then.
On another note, I was talking to a chap today. I was around some fella's house, and the man's about in his late 40s, and I said to him, "You ever heard of Scottie McClue?" And he says, "God, I remember whenever I used to go to university in Glasgow, I would listen to him all the time."
Get away.
Yeah. And I was happily surprised, you know.
Yeah.
Funny, there was a guy I saw in the local shop there the other day, and he had a jacket on him saying is there a University of Strathclyde right
Yes, Strathclyde is another Glasgow university. There's actually, I think there's 3 or 4 universities in total. There's Glasgow Caledonian, Glasgow University itself, the University of Strathclyde, and the West of Scotland University.
Were you ever in the Strathclyde one?
Well, I actually, funnily, when I did my teacher training, the teacher training college, which had been going since the 1920s, became part of Strathclyde. So effectively, I've been to Strathclyde and Glasgow.
There you go.
And the drama school.
Funny, I was talking to a random mate of mine up today, and he's currently on holiday in Clydebank.
Ah, yes, Clydebank. Now that's where Radio Clyde are based, and they've just had their 50th anniversary.
All right. And what sort of area would Clydebank be?
Clydebank was wonderful. That's where they used to build the Cunarders. So the old Queen Mary and Queen Elizabeth were built in 1934 and 1936 at John Brown's in Clydebank. Then the QE2 was built at John Brown's. HMS Hood was built at John Brown's. So many famous ships have come out. You recognize the names when you see them. The Vanguard, which was the last big battle cruiser, she took the royal family to South Africa in 1947, and she was brand new. And then they scrapped her in about 1960. And as a little boy, I can remember us coming back round. Now, what was the scrapyard called? Oh, that's terrible. Somebody will tell me the name of it. It'll just come back to me. And I remember my father pointing up and said, "Do you see the Vanguard there?" And about 1960, so she was only 13 years old, this huge battle cruiser. She was John Brown's. I think the Mauritania, the Aquitania. So they were like sisters to the Titanic and the Olympic. And of course, the Titanic was built with you at Harland and Wolff.
Aye, that's right. And funny, see if you were to head from Belfast to Clydebank, it would take you about 4.5 hours. You would drive from Belfast to Larne and get the ferry from Larne to Conran.
Yes, you could do it that way.
You'd cut through Ayr and then Kilmarnock.
Well, I would say you're coming to Glasgow if you're going to Clydebank, but the Bankies see them as separate from Glasgow. So you've got a very long road called Dumbarton Road, which is going to Dumbarton, obviously, from Glasgow, and back from Dumbarton to Glasgow, and Glasgow to Dumbarton. But you've got Dumbarton Road, Clydebank. And Clydebank also were famous for a huge American sewing machine company called Singer's.
Right.
And they did the Singer sewing machines from the 1920s, I think, maybe earlier. And it was a massive factory. It was so big, Tom, there was actually a station named Singer.
Right.
Yeah.
And like a train station?
Yeah. Train. I think Singer is still around. You can still go to Singer. And then you had, what else did you have there? During the war, it was very, very, very badly blitzed because they were trying to get the shipyards, and the poor souls in Clydebank suffered terribly. Huge loss of life. You know, the Bankies. Yeah, absolutely. So, you know, it's a great place, and they're great people. And Radio Clyde is on an industrial estate that I think would have been set up where Singer's was.
There you go. Yeah. Well, when you have such a big place like that, it's not a surprise that sort of thing happens. But tell me this: when you're coming past Conran and you drive up a wee bit, have you ever heard of the island other? I think maybe I'm pronouncing this wrong, but is it Ailsa Craig or something?
Ailsa Craig, yes. Now Ailsa Craig is a marble rock just off. It's called Paddy's Milestone. I don't know if you can say that now because it was halfway to Ireland for the Puffers. And they called it, we're passing Paddy's Milestone. And Ailsa Craig, it sticks up. You can see it in Ayrshire. You could take a trip. There was even at one point, long time ago, I think, a little tea room. And they used the marble, the granite, I should say, for the curling stones.
Mm-hmm.
Was it marble or granite? I think on Ailsa Craig, very, very tough. And you see it sticking up. It's a lovely sight. Ailsa Craig, and of course, halfway to Ireland. Because you see, when I was wee, Tom, if you were traveling up to Glasgow from, say, Greenock, you would see the boat going out on a Thursday. And the boat was Burns and Laird, the Ulstermen. and she was taking the you know, first, second generation Irish people back home for the weekend.
Yep. And I always noticed that from that island, you know, if you looked over, you could see the sort of Larne shore, you know.
Yes, yes, you can. And is it Donaghadee would be your nearest point? Donaghadee, apparently you can see Kintyre as clear as you like on a good day.
Yeah, well, you know, there's a bus that leaves Belfast. It leaves, I think the first one's about 6:30 in the morning, and it brings you to Glasgow.
Fantastic. No, wonderful, Tom. Absolutely wonderful. And Ballycastle, I went Ballycastle to Campbelltown. Lovely voyage.
Yeah, well, you get the bus. It's called it's the 923 Ulster, I think it's Gold Liner, and it takes you from Europa Bus Centre to Bunshan. Maybe I'm pronouncing it wrong. Bunshan bus station.
Bunshan.
Or no,
spell it.
Or something.
Spell it for me.
Buchan.
Buchan. I'm not sure where that is actually, Tom. Is that somebody listening or no?
Glasgow. It must be. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong, Scotty, but.
Buchanan bus station. Buchanan, yes. It takes you. We see we've got Buchanan Street, and at the top you've got the bus station. And Buchanan Street was very famous. You've also got the underground in Buchanan Street. And it used to go up to what was St. George's Square and is now Nelson Mandela Place, because the Glaswegians were very big on Nelson Mandela and the end of apartheid. And then you go up to the new Buchanan Galleries, and you've got the Glasgow Royal Concert Hall, and you've got the bus station Buchanan, and you used to have Buchanan Street Station. So it was busy. When I was at the college, because the old Royal Scottish Academy of Music and Drama, it's side on to Buchanan Street, and they started just when I needed it. It was a 3-year course, and they started rebuilding the Glasgow subway in 1977, closed it just when I could have done with it, and then opened it just when I left the college. I don't think it was personal, Tom, you know. And now we have a wonderful underground called the Clockwork Orange.
Is it right?
And that's your Glasgow tube that goes right round Glasgow.
That bus I was talking about there, it stops at Duncrew, which is just the Stena Line terminus in Belfast, and then it brings you to Stranraer.
Stranraer, yep, absolutely. And then it'll be about another 80, 90 miles straight into Glasgow.
About 3 hours, and then Conran, and then Ayr, and then Glasgow.
Ayr, yeah, absolutely, and then into Glasgow. Very nice, Tom.
Ayr was a nice place, Scotty.
Ayr used to be absolutely beautiful. It was a seaside town. It is a seaside town. Lovely view of the sea. The beach is lovely. You've got a race course. You've got Craigie College.
Robbie Burns Museum.
But the Station Hotel just has gone on fire recently. Yes, and the town centre has been a bit spoiled. It used to be really very prestigious, High Street Ayr, and they had a lovely theatre. I think it's probably still going. So you've got the Ayr Gaiety Theatre. So it was really quite the place, and a lot of lovely Georgian houses and Victorian houses. And Ayr was a great place for people to stay, place for people to retire. They also had Butlins at Ayr, so people holidayed at Butlins at Ayr. And sadly now, like so many Scottish towns, see, Thatcher killed the Scottish economy by selling out so she could take the money to London and look good, get voted in again, you see. So we lost most of our trade and our industry and all that. So our mines, our steelworks, you know, and a lot of the shipyards as well.
Yeah, and where do you work from at the moment? Just outside Glasgow, didn't you say?
Yes, I'm not far from Glasgow.
Yeah, would you ever take a wee run into the city?
Oh yes, very often I could run into the city. Yes, I can get the train and it takes me right in. I don't bother with the car now. They've just introduced that, what do you call it? It's not.
Tools?
It's not ULEZ. That one for wanting you can't take a car if it's too big a higher CC in case it pollutes the city.
Oh, emissions nonsense.
Emission stuff. They've done all that. I mean, I don't think governments have properly looked into all this stuff. They were hoping that the green thing might make them a few quid, and it will have done. And it will go on doing that if they go on with it. But I mean, it's not driven by CO2. If you take all the CO2 and the carbon away, the trees will die. If the trees will die, the birds will die. If the birds die, then the bees die. If the bees die, then we die. You know?
I'd say a man like yourself would drive a very classy motor.
I drive two cars, obviously not at the same time for health and safety reasons. But one's 32 years old and the other's 15 years old. That's my new one. You know?
Yeah.
And I replaced my 22-year-old one.
And would you ever feel like getting a new motor? Or, oh no, you just got it. You just got it.
No, I've just got the 15-year-old. That's my idea of a new motor. And and it's a beautiful. I always buy very, very high quality cars, but very, very old.
Yeah, no, that's good. Like,
you know,
what would be a good example of that? Like Land Rovers would be a good example of that.
Well, my last Land Rover, I've run Land Rovers for 30 years, and my last one was 22 years old.
And I suppose it was going perfect whenever you gave it up?
Absolutely perfect when I gave it up. The only thing was the boys at the garage were saying we're finding the back end a bit hard to find solid metal.
Yeah.
That just because, you know, but it's wonderful. I mean, these were great cars. Sorry, Tom, I interrupted you.
No, sorry. I like the 2010 Land Rover Discovery.
Oh, yes, these are nice. Yes, there's a lot of lovely cars, you know. Partly, you know, there's been problems with them recently. So, but I mean, you know, after 30 years of that, you don't need any, you know, life changes and you think, I'm actually not needing it now. See, I had them for the dogs. I had them because I had to be out in all weathers. I had to be out through the night. I lived out in the country, you know, in tiny roads that weren't often gritted, and there was a lot of ice and all that in the winter, you know. So I needed these cars to make sure I could operate any time of the day or night, you know.
Yeah, surely. Just before I go here, Scott, I hear modern day Land Rovers, there's an awful job insuring them now.
Well, I think that's right, yes. I mean, I'm not going to go into it because obviously we don't want to do a brand down, but I've heard that as well, you know.
Yeah, but it's not just Land Rovers. A lot of modern cars is very hard to insure now, you know.
Yeah, that's right. And of course, the electric ones, I think you'll find the electric thing will be a short-lived revolution.
I hope so, Scotty, because I like the sound of a nice engine. You know?
A nice engine. You want a wee turbo diesel.
That's it, Scotty.
Well, you see, modern diesels, you used to have to crank them in the old days, but with their modern glow plugs and that, they just turn off the key. Start straight off the key. Wonderful.
Yeah. Well, you know, Scotty, I'll not hold up these phone lines.
You're never holding us up. And the other thing, I live in a tiny bit of a hill, and therefore, if she didn't start for any reason, you could just run it down the hill in second gear and boom.
Exactly. Yeah, that's you.
But you need to make sure the steering's unlocked.
Oh, big time.
Dinky-Doo, Tom.
Right, Scotty, Dinky-Doo.
All the best. Ta-ra. Lovely speaking to you. And love to Sean and Patricia.
Yeah, big time, Scotty.
Dinky-Doo, Sean.
I'll tell him.
Thank you, Dinky-Doo, Tom. Thanks. See you later.
All right, Scotty.
Top man. There we are. That's our Tom. Always a good chat from Belfast in Northern Ireland. Guys, if you're watching on the YouTube channel, please do subscribe. We must get the subscribers up. I don't want to abandon the YouTube channel, but we're sitting on something like 5,000 subscribers, and that should be 500,000 subscribers. You know what I mean? Dinky-Doo says, Ben, lovely to have you with us. So get the word out there and get sharing, guys. I'm only as good as you. That's how it works. I can't believe we've been up for 55 minutes. Scotty, I'm genuinely a very, 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 very bad man. Daniel, I'm very sorry to hear that. Who's told you that, though? It might be somebody who's just a bit jealous of you and there's nothing wrong with you. You never know. So there we have it. Dinky-Doo says, Ben. Boring call as always, Tom. Well, Gobschnoppel, I don't think Tom has ever made a boring call in his life. So let's hear you. You give us a ring, Gobschnoppel, and we'll have a chat with you. And then Tom can decide what he thought of your call. Do you see what I mean? Never criticize unless you can do better, I say. Are you live on Scotty's phone in? Who's that?
Oh, Scotty, it's me again. We were talking about 20 minutes ago. I thought I'd phone you back.
Graham.
Aye, that's the man.
That's it, yes.
Well done for remembering, by the way,
No,
Scotty.
of course I remember.
Impressive.
No, you're a star. You're a star. What can I do for you?
You're a very... I'd just like to go on a little bit more about that rabbit hole.
The rabbit hole, you know. Yes.
Scotty, I'm on a Wikipedia page here.
Yes.
And I've got somebody's handsome face up that I'm staring at.
Yes.
Do you have any guesses as to whose face that may be?
I haven't a clue. It could be one of a billion people.
Well, he's got to be one of the most handsome men with the biggest smile in the world. His name is Colin Lamont.
Oh, I've not heard of him. There we are. Sounds good, though. I'll look him up. There we go. Now, what do we got here? Sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I should think so, Gobschnoppel. We're all very polite on here. So I'm going to put hashtag be kind. There you go. I've just put that up, guys. You'll see that pop up. Hashtag be kind. Tom Phillips has sent me £2. Tom, you are very, very kind. Dinky-Doo, I say to you. Gobschnoppel's apologising, by the way, guys. Yeah, I think he made a wee mistake. We love it. How's it going, Dinky-Doo? I'd rather support Partick Thistle than the monarchy. Well, Daniel, they're not mutually exclusive. You can support Partick Thistle and the monarchy. There we are. And the monarchy speak very highly of you, I am sure. For the people, says Craig. No, that's not a right, Rev. Scotty, evening, Scotty. Hope you're okay, says Richard. Richard Tan, I can't thank you enough for your kindness on here tonight. You are so very, very kind. Guys, please get subscribing on the YouTube channel and tell all your friends to do the same. The Grim Reaper's back, Scotty, says Susan. There we are. We shall sort the Grim Reaper out, Susan. Do not worry about any of that. Fantastic. We can deal with the monarchy later. Let's get free first. No, Stevie. No. The deal will be you need the monarchy on side for independence or you'll never get free. Independence will be toast. So there you are. They were cleared off the land by the king as well as departed to the Americas. Bebob, I don't think that was the king that was clearing them. I think that was the landlord. You got fired from radio, did you not? No. I've never actually been fired from radio in my life. But I did go to another station because they offered me double the salary. So there you are. But no, I've never been fired. Which regiment, the King's Own or the Yorkie? Do you mean the King's Own Scottish Borderers or the Yorkshire Regiment? I see you're still alive. Scotty, says Daniel. Absolutely. There's Jack wanting me to manage a football club. Oh, Jack, you're all very kind. Are we really in a conversation about history while genocide's been committed in Gaza? Yes, Neil. Because if you don't understand your history, you won't understand the genocide. So there you are. So history first, stop the war next. Guys, I'm going to have to go. We're out of time. I love you guys. Dinky-Doo. Oh. We just made it. We had to dash off. And my beautiful, beautiful YouTubers, thank you so much. Please do get sharing, watch all the videos, share them about, and subscribe. And join us next Saturday at the same time. Set your notifications so that you get notification because we do random pop-ups. We go live. Love you all. Stay fabulous. Hashtag be kind, Dinky-Doo. Stick your tongue out. Here we go. Ta-ta.